You've really made a big impact in Europe. Tell me about the impact you've made there and how you built it.
Well, I mean, you know, it's so inspirational, honestly. I get people that come up to me all the time, young artists that approach me all the time and say, Ryan, you know, I want to be famous. I want people to love me for the music that I'm making. And I tell them, man, you know, it's very, very challenging to break into the mainstream distribution channels like television and radio. But what we have now in the age of social media is you have the ability to create your own YouTube channel, put your music on YouTube, and really play to the audiences that are responding to you. And for me, you know, I could look at my YouTube statistics and see that I was getting a lot of love from Germany, France, even the UK. And, you know, I made the sacrifices. I went out there, I was performing at first. Luckily, I had the means that I could make that investment to perform for next to nothing in audiences that were already built in. Like we would go and play the clubs out there where people were already showing up. They weren't expecting any live entertainment, and I could come in and surprise them by giving them a burst of energy in the middle of their, you know, nightlife party. And at the same time, my music and other music that I was producing, whether it was Cassie or, you know, the Sherry Dennis record or Loon record, a lot of the records I was doing for Bad Boy, those were spinning in the clubs as well. And at first, you know, I had to be promoted as, you know, Bad Boy producer Ryan Leslie is making an appearance. Right. Honestly, as we really began to break down the stereotypes of what an American artist can do over there, you know, there's a lot of rap artists or hip hop artists, you know, or urban music artists that go overseas and they just assume that, you know, it's a privilege for that market to have them there. And they don't really deliver in terms of a live experience. You know, they come over, they might give a half an hour show, 40-minute show, they do it to track. They go out there, they collect the money because it's good money out there, and they come home, and because their touring base is in the States, they leave a lot of fans really disappointed, you know? And it's been my strategy to go out there and really just shatter anyone else's live performance, at least at the level that I'm doing it. Right now we're doing like 1,200 to 2,000 seaters, you know, maybe 3,000 in some markets, and really just shatter everyone's expectations about what egotism, you know, an American artist might have by coming out there. And we built an incredible touring base. You know, we honestly, if you average it out, we're doing probably $1.2 million a month. In Europe, you know, if we go out there for a month. So that's 40,000 tickets at 35 euros a ticket, top line, you know, you do the math. When you're 24 years old and, you know, you're talking, you know, well over $500,000, you know, this is probably the biggest check that I had ever seen in my life. Hey, you know, here's a guy that has so much bravado. Here's a guy that has, you know, talks all this big talk. Now he has to pay up, you know.